Hey, quick question. What do you actually know about your city's power grid? Like, nothing, right? You just flip a switch and the lights come on. That's it. That's all you know. Same as everybody else. Now, what if I told you that right now, tonight, a group of hackers somewhere in the world could turn off every single light in your city, every hospital, every traffic light, every phone charger, everything. And once they do it, your city has no idea how to turn it back on. Not in an hour, not tomorrow, maybe not for months. This already happened to a real city with real people, and almost nobody talked about it. Stick with me for the next 20 minutes, because by the end of this, you are going to look at every light switch in your house completely differently. Okay, so first, this isn't a movie. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This actually happened. December 2015, Ukraine, normal winter evening. People are home, it's freezing outside, everyone's got their heaters running. And then 230,000 people lost power, all at once, in the middle of winter. But here's the part that's actually insane. When the workers tried to manually turn the power back on, the system fought back. Someone had remotely locked them out of their own controls. They were sitting there staring at their screens and couldn't do a single thing. They even jammed the phone lines so people couldn't call to report it. And you know how long those hackers had been sitting inside Ukraine's power grid before they did this? 6 months. 6 months of just watching, waiting, learning every corner of the system. Now here's where it gets close to home. The system controlling your city's power, it runs on software from the 1990s, older than most people watching this. And at some point, someone thought it was a great idea to connect it to the internet. Yeah. Okay, so let's say it happens. Tonight, your city's grid goes down and it is not coming back. What actually happens to you? Hour 1 to 2. You think it's a normal outage. Everyone does. You grab some candles, maybe text your friends, laugh a little. Meanwhile, hospitals have switched to backup generators. Sounds fine, right? Except those generators run on diesel fuel, and most hospitals carry only 3 to 4 days of fuel on site. That clock just started ticking. Gas stations? Dark. The pumps need electricity. You are not getting fuel tonight. ATMs? Offline. Card machines? Dead. If you have no cash in your wallet right now, you literally cannot buy anything from anyone. Hour 6. People are starting to panic buy. Grocery stores are getting rushed. Water, canned food, batteries, stripped from shelves within hours. Your phone battery is dropping, and here's something almost nobody thinks about. Cell towers only have about 4 to 8 hours of backup power. After that, they need generator fuel. Some towers have it, most don't. By hour 6, parts of your city are already losing phone signal. Day 24. The food in your refrigerator is already unsafe to eat. All of it, gone. Now here's the one nobody sees coming. Water. Water treatment plants run on electricity. The pumps that push water through pipes to your house, electricity. Once those backup generators run dry, your taps go dead. By day 24, water pressure in parts of your city is already dropping. People on home oxygen machines, dialysis patients, babies in hospital NICUs, these people are already in serious danger, and it has only been 1 day. Day 3. This is where things get ugly. People stop believing the power is coming back soon, and that shift in thinking changes everything. Looting starts. Not everywhere, not everyone, but enough. Stores getting broken into, generators stolen from neighbors, gas stations being siphoned dry. Police are overwhelmed. Their own communication systems are down. Their patrol cars need charging. They cannot be everywhere at once. Day 7. 1 week without power. Your city is unrecognizable. Water is now the #1 killer. Without electricity, water treatment completely stops. The water sitting in pipes becomes unsafe. Diseases you thought only existed in documentaries about poor countries, cholera, typhoid, They do not care how modern your city is. They show up anyway. The people who could leave already left in the first 48 hours. What remains is a city that is hungry, thirsty, scared, and running out of time. Day 30. I'm going to say a number, and I want you to just sit with it for a second. A report commissioned by the US Congress looked at what happens if the power grid stays down for a full year. Their estimate for how many people would die, not from the attack itself, but from starvation, disease, and total collapse of every system, 90% of the affected population. Let that sit. Not from bombs, not from soldiers, just because the lights went out and nobody could turn them back on. Here is what really messes with me about this. The system running your city's power grid was never supposed to be online. It was built decades ago to be completely isolated, physically cut off from everything, unhackable by design. But then slowly, over the years, piece by piece, it got connected to the internet because it was more convenient, because it saved money, because someone decided efficiency was more important than security. And now, the US government's own reports say there are critical vulnerabilities in the national grid that still have not been fixed. Some of these systems are literally still running Windows XP, the same software your school computer lab had in 2003. The Ukraine attack in 2015 was not the last one. There have been attempted attacks on the US grid, on European energy systems. Most people never heard about them because they were caught in time or caused limited damage. But the groups attempting these attacks are still out there, still probing, still learning, and they are very, very patient. Okay, I am not going to just scare you and walk away. Let's talk about what actually matters. Some countries took this seriously after getting hit hard. Estonia got completely cyber-attacked by Russia back in 2007. Instead of just complaining about it, they built some of the strongest cyber defense infrastructure in the world. They run national cyber drills every single year, like it's a fire drill. Some cities are now building something called microgrids, smaller local power systems that operate completely independently. If the main grid goes down, they keep running. Hospitals stay on, water treatment keeps going, emergency services stay live. And on a personal level, I know this sounds boring, but stay with me. FEMA, the US Emergency Agency, recommends every single household keep a 72-hour emergency supply: water, food, cash, the basics. Most households have absolutely nothing. 3 days of stored water, some canned food, a little cash. That is the difference between being completely helpless on day one and actually being okay while things get figured out. Not a bunker, not a decade of supplies, just 72 hours worth. That is genuinely all it takes to be ahead of 90% of your city. So, here's where we land. Tonight when you go home, your power will probably be on. The fridge will be running, your phone will charge, everything will feel completely normal. But somewhere right now, your city's power grid is being probed, tested, studied by people who have all the time in the world and one very specific goal. The Ukraine attack took 6 months of preparation, 6 months of sitting silently inside the system before anyone even knew they were there. How long have they already been inside yours? Now, if you thought that was bad, next time we're looking at something that keeps actual government officials up at night. What if a nuclear strike hit just 10 miles outside your city? What do the first 60 minutes actually look like for the people still inside? What does science say about who survives and who doesn't? It is not what you think. And I will see you there.